up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we're down here. Okay, so we back real quick. Okay, so what are we talking about, honey? So let's see. Oh, it says Aaliyah's long-awaited album. This is from the Neighborhood Talk. Aaliyah's long-awaited album, Unstoppable. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let Diva know you stopped by. I know you like, dang girl, you just started. Yeah, because go watch the other video. This is the second video, okay? It says Aaliyah's long-awaited album, Unstoppable, will be dropping this month with featured Drake, Neo, Snoop Dogg, Chris Brown, and Future. I don't know why. When I saw their names, I was just like, oh, like she's going to be doing songs with men who would have probably objectified her. Like, Drake, Neo, Snoop Dogg, Chris Brown, and Future. Like, why would, I don't know. Sorry. That's exactly how I felt when I saw that. Like, you guys just going to keep doing her like that and just disrespectful. I don't know. It's just disrespectful. Asian Dog gets into it with a podcast host and is later exposed for hating black women. Fresh and fit, honey. Asian Doll walks off podcast after back and forth with hosts, and clips resurface of him saying some things about black women. This is a trigger warning because what he's saying is hateful. Okay? All right.
I don't even know who she is, so I don't care. Simple.
Damn.
Guys, sidebar conversations, please. All right, I've told you, this is like, this is like the fifth time I've told you that, right?
Yes.
Sixth time. Like, stop. For real, like, stop.
He mean as fuck.
You've not been here. Yeah, it's the whole show. Yeah, she's been doing it the whole show. I'm not mean as fuck. I just have rules. Simple. All right, go ahead.
Rules. I just have rules.
What I look for in a man that's like approaching me.
Hold on. Excuse me?
You mean?
I'm not mean at all.
Okay, I don't care.
Have you been here the whole time?
No.
All right, then. So you don't know what was happening.
So you don't know what's happening, right?
So how you gonna come on somebody's show, not know what go down, and say, "Oh, you're mean"?
It don't matter. I can say what I want.
Okay,
right.
well, you get the fuck off the show too.
I don't
give a fuck about your fucking show, bro.
You
can come on the platform disrespectful.
I don't have to.
I don't even.
I'm not such a bit as mean. We can all be. Come on.
Chill out, bro.
Let's calm
I'm
down.
sorry. He's hot. I'm calm.
No, I'm very calm, but it's like, bro, you gotta show a little bit of respect on the platform.
It's cool, bro.
Chill. I say you mean. It is what it is. What the fuck you want me to say?
That's not the truth, though.
You mad about saying mean? You grown as hell.
Get his ass together.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
So earlier on the show, let's look back and forth. So he was just telling her.
She got her shit up and got out of there. Let me tell you something. This motherfucker, I wish I was in Asian Doll's body because I would have cussed his ass out. Her energy was just right for him. I don't give a fuck. Like, nigga, who the fuck do you think you are? First of all, the only reason why you have this platform, you had to create this platform in order to get attention and access to women. And that's the only reason why you have this platform. And you are resentful because you know that's the only reason why women are around y'all. Because you really don't like women. You don't like women, not just black women. Like, you despise black women because you hate yourselves. But you just hate women. You just hate women. And you created this space so that you can have women be vulnerable to you, and so that you can pull rank and say, you could just get off the platform. You could just get off the platform. You could just get off the platform. And that makes you feel so strong and so good about yourself. You don't like women at all. Those types of men, him, fresh, fit, they do not like women. And the men who listen to them and parrot their ideas, they do not like women. They don't. Like that like 2 weeks ago, academics bucked up on a woman. That little incel, let me tell you something. He would not, if he did not have access and he wasn't seen as someone who may have some money, who may have a little bit of money to trick off, because he knows if he didn't have money, he wouldn't be getting any pussy. So he already resents you for giving him pussy in exchange for his money. He already resents you for that because he knows he knows he has to buy it some way. He knows he does, so he already resents you for that. Then they don't love themselves. They don't love themselves. They are the epitome of self-hatred. They are. How do you look at your reflection and be like, I don't like that? And then say these derogatory words as if it is okay. Just because he is a dark skin and they're black men, say these things about women does not mean that it's not hateful. It's actually worse than it is coming from non-black people. For you to sit on a platform and call black women night riders. You niggas already know you would not be able to get any access to women, and I'm trying to stay calm because it's ridiculous at this point. And it's ridiculous because they sit on their platform. All they do is create confusion and chaos. And they want women in their spaces to make fun of them because they don't like women. Yes, he might get women to have sex with him, but there's some exchange happening. Nobody's just messing with them dudes on just because they're good guys. And they're not good guys. When they say, we go after everybody, that should tell you, like, they're not good guys. And for women to sit around them, and Asian Doll actually should have never been there. She should have never been there. But I'm glad that she said what she said. Like, I don't give a fuck. Because who are you? Nigga, suck my dick. Fuck your platform. I'll tear this whole shit up in here. Fuck your platform. You only have it because it makes you feel like somebody. So what? I just have rules. I just have rules. Girl, shut up. Shut your ass up. You don't have no fucking rules. You don't have no damn rules. And they sit up on their platform and they spout hatred all of the time. And it's like I said, their target is black women because they know the response and they think nobody else is going to come forward and speak up for black women. You don't need anybody to speak up for you as a black woman. You can speak up for yourself. Okay? Stop looking somewhere else for somebody to speak up for you. Speak up for yourself. Here, I was so calm yesterday because I knew what he was trying to do. Mr. Freddy Krueger was finna get beat down Elm Street off camera, and I'm thankful for the growth and self-control, and I'm happy I defended another black woman because he was treating her so bad.
Oh, black.
Here he goes.
Oh, it's funny, I never used that one, bro, but hey, man. I mean, hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man. LaQuisha. Yeah, like, me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. Man. We ain't night riders. No, so I'm good. Sometimes if they're, Redbone, but like in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark, if you know what I'm saying. Yep. Okay, so last one, guys.
If Howard Stern had said some shit like that, if any other on-air personality, if a Joe Rogan said some shit like that, it would be really bad. It would be really bad. So for them to say some stuff like that, it should be just as bad because it's to me, it's violence. That's how I feel. I feel that it's violence. I feel those men are violent, and the people who follow them are violent. And you shouldn't be looking to any other male group to protect you from men like this. You should be protecting yourselves, because these men are violent, and they're not just violent to black women, they're violent to all women, because the only way that they're able to get access to women is because of their resources or perceived resources. Okay? Just like the way that Academics was acting with that girl, yelling at her, who are you bucking your chest up at, bro? Like, who are you doing that to? And that girl had a gun on her for specifically for feeling, if I'm going someplace where there's a bunch of dudes, I need to feel safe, because I know if anything happens, the likelihood of anyone else protecting me is going to be low. So I need to protect myself. And for threats just like that, irrational, highly emotional, lacking of self-control, and a hatred for women.
The Holy Ghost saved her. Why do you try you? It was just not that deep. You had a fornication. He thought that was good. Hold on. Yeah, shorty. Wait, so why the fuck is you mad? Wait, what? You up? Bro, look at you. You standing up angry, nigga. Sit the fuck down. Hold on. Wait, why you mad at her? Why you mad at her? She didn't say shit. What did I do? Shorty. I was trying to dismiss you because you're a broke ass bitch who ain't get a babysitter who talking about you gotta go home to your kid. Nigga, go home to your little nigga and go handle your business, nigga. Go handle your business, nigga. Go handle your business.
Because you know women would not mess with you if you didn't have your little red cup and you wasn't sitting on the side of a yacht. Because you know, if you didn't have none of that, these women would not mess with you, the women that you prefer. And I'm so tired of this idea that there's a preference, because as you can see, no one is getting preferential treatment. No one is getting preferential treatment. No one. So stop saying that they have a preference. They don't have a preference. They don't have a preference. They will take anyone who will have them. And they will stay as long as you will have them. And they will sit on their platforms and talk shit about women and say the most vile, disgusting things about women. And other women will sit there and listen to them, because they are operating under the same fucking programming. So you can't expect another woman to be like, just because you're a woman, you're going to be sitting there allowing men to speak about other women the way that they do. They are under the same programming. They are upholding the same codes. All of them. For you to say we don't mess with the brown. If I were those men, if I were their parents, I would feel so ashamed if my child was on any public platform spewing hatred for women who look like him, and then turn around and call it a preference. You're saying I prefer because I hate. I prefer this because I hate this. Not because I just don't like it. Because the things that you just don't like, you don't speak about them in the disgusting, vile ways that they speak about black women. We treat everybody like shit. We talk about everybody. Listen to what they say. And then as for those girls, it's so beautiful how the internet lives on. And for those girls, they're going to grow up, those young women, they're going to grow up and they're going to say, I can't believe I sat there while these men, these disgusting men who hate women, and I sat up there as a woman and allowed them to disrespect another woman. In the name of what? To get what? What is your prize? What prize do you get, girl, when you do that? When you sit there complacent? Because you know you can expect that out of other men. As women, like I keep saying, just because we share identity does not mean we are in community. So it is unfortunate that you can't look to another woman and be like, girl, what the fuck? You are sitting here letting this dude talk to me like this? You're not saying anything? Because the men, it's like there was some guy that was in the back saying, yo, dude, like, cut it out, cut it out. And that's what should happen. Like, you don't have to act like this, but you create these environments so that you can act like that. You want to be violent towards other women. You want to be able to buck up and throw somebody out. That makes you feel good about yourself. Because you are, the only way that you get your power is by making somebody else feel small, because you don't feel whatever it is the fuck that you got going on, but the hatred runs so deep that you just act out on everybody, on everyone, and then just call it a preference.
Traits of feminine women. What's her gram? What's your Instagram?
That's crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, just keep it real. I don't really date black girls. No, because like most black girls are like annoying. How to put this? Ratchet, and they don't know how to like be reserved. You're like the complete opposite. You are not the stereotype. You are not the stereotype. You are not the same. That's all. Yeah.
And then somebody's like, "Aw." You tell somebody you're not the stereotype, and another woman responds, "Aw." Girl, I would be so embarrassed if I knew these women. I would be completely embarrassed. Completely embarrassed. And these men and their parents and their families, this is like, what? Who? I don't know. I find it absolutely disgusting, but I know exactly where it comes from. I know where it comes from. They are those guys like Trey Songz. Can I get a hug? Can I get a hug? Can I get a hug? Nobody was giving you hugs. Nobody was giving you hugs. Nobody was giving you hugs. And so you decide, I'm going to do what I need to do in order to attract the attention of these women. And deep down, I know that these women would not be attracted to me if I didn't have what I have. So now I kind of resent this bitch too, because I know she wouldn't be fucking with me if I didn't have what I have. So in addition to hating this other group of women, because I do actually hate myself, so I can't even look at myself in the mirror and in that see beauty in something that reflects what I'm giving off. So I see beauty in something that doesn't even look like me, to the point where I hate what looks like me. I hate it, and I call it names, and then say, I have a mom. Your mother should be ashamed of you. Like, literally should be ashamed of you. I wouldn't tell anyone that was my child. I would be like, oh. Talking about disown a motherfucker, I wouldn't tell nobody that them two motherfuckers were my children at all. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And that you hate yourself so much that you don't even see beauty in what looks like you. So to me, I really believe that those types of men are agents in upholding the illusion of white supremacy. Because if you don't see the beauty in yourself, and you see the beauty in something that does not look like you, that to me it's like something is not, that's, to me, I just think that's kind of weird. Like, I feel like you can look at other people and be like, ooh, he's attractive. But then to look at yourself and be like, ugh, girl, what? That's a level of self-hatred that is dangerous. It's violence. It's violence. And then to get on a platform and allow women that it's almost like you get these women in a room, you get them in a room to put them in these situations and have these nonsensical conversations about relationships that absolutely are ridiculous. They're just completely ridiculous. And you have these girls in here who have, I don't know what your parents have taught you about anything, but I guess you're just in this world right now trying to figure it out. So let's go up to these guys' podcasts and have these dumb conversations about relationships. They're having conversations. They don't even know how to have healthy relationships with themselves because they don't like themselves. So they, in turn, become agents in upholding white supremacy, the illusion of white supremacy. They don't like black women. They don't like women at all. They don't like women at all. It's all. There's a resentment there. There's a resentment there for whatever reason. And I have to create this environment to where I can make the women that I resent and I hate vulnerable, and then tell them I have rules. I got rules. I have rules. Can't even look at her. You looking down. I have rules. I have rules. Who you looking at, bro? And I'm so glad that she said, I don't give a fuck. Because you're not going to do that. And that's why you don't like the black girls. Because, nigga, I don't give a fuck. And you're just going to have to be mad. I would have told Fresh and Fit to suck my dick. That's what I would have told them. Oh, yeah, I would have met them where they stood. I sure would have. And that's the young lady said, I have self-control. No, you can cuss their asses out. You don't have to get up and flip the table over, because that's what I felt like I wanted to do when I saw that clip. Because I really wanted to just fly and be like, whoop, and cuss them motherfuckers out. And call them all and just re-trigger all the shit from high school and junior high school. When they was running around campus asking people for hugs and everybody was like, girl, no. Ah, go away. Why you always asking somebody for a hug? Girl, no, please go away. Fresh, Fit. God, get out of here. And so y'all down at the drawing board trying to figure out what kind of environment can I create so I can get these girls that keep rejecting me to like me, to give me attention. I'm going to get them in a room, talk about relationships, because they've also been programmed to believe that they need to chase after men to be in relationship and ask men relationship questions and then give you fucking advice that doesn't serve you, dummy. But you figuring it out. So you'll figure it out whenever the fuck you figure it out. But they have these environments for that reason. They do not, like, I compare it to Al Bundy and his friends. Remember the No Ma'am Club? And they had a club that they hated women. They didn't want the women. They didn't want the women in the club. And they were protesting against the women. Just hated women. They do. They do. They do. They do. And then for all people to come out to speak on behalf of black women, Joe fucking Button. It's like, girl. It's like, girl. Joe Button says they are ignorant, inexperienced, insecure for bashing black women. I don't know about Joe Button, honey. I mean, we can pull out his rap sheet. Like, I can't even say anything like Joe Button speaking for black women, girl, whatever. Like, girl, I don't care. Like, girl, your actions don't match your words either. Shut up. Shut your ass up. That's the protection y'all want. Y'all want Joe Button to come to step up and speak for y'all. Girl, this is a mess. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have to talk about. I don't know. The Fresh and Fit thing, I just think they're absolutely disgusting, and I get mad because and annoyed because it's like we have these conversations about these types of men all the time. And girl, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening? We have these conversations all the time about these types of men and what they're doing and their intention and their purpose here and the roles that they're playing in society are very dangerous, and they're doing things, like I said, upholding the matrix. And oh girl, it came on and went right off. They're upholding the matrix. That's all they're doing. You know, it's like they don't, like, that's what I said when I saw yesterday these women who were like uplifting white men in lieu of black men. I'm like, girl, they're not. Didn't you y'all just see Julia Fox say that her it was deadbeat. Just no one male group is better than the other male group. I hate to break it to you. I honestly hate to break it to you. If you go to other groups of women, they will tell you about their group of men. Just ask them. Stop looking over the fence thinking, oh my God, if I uplift white men, that's going to make black men mad. So let me uplift white men. They're not any better, but they're building communities. It still doesn't have anything to do with the way that they have been socialized to relate to women. What don't you all understand about that? I don't get it. It's like, will they understand the value of marriage? Oh God. So that's what it is. Is that what it is? When I tell y'all, ooh, I'll be over here like pissed, like, girl, y'all need to wake the fuck up for real. Or stay the fuck. I don't know. I don't care. You know, it's your life. You know, you're going to do what you want to do. You're going to live and you're going to fucking learn. But the truth of the matter is that all of this shit is a fucking joke. All of this shit is a fucking game. And these people, they run around here saying these things to get attention. They get the attention, they turn around, and it's just weird to watch the whole thing play out. And it's like, when you know where they're operating from, that's when you're like, you really don't like yourself, you hate yourself, you're literally an agent in upholding the illusion of white supremacy, because you yourself hate the reflection of yourself to the point where you will get on a public platform and call the womb that birthed you a night rider. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then say, I don't usually date black girls. I don't usually date black girls. I don't usually date black girls. But you're not like the black girls. You're not the stereotype. And then fucking Susie over there. Aww. Girl, who programmed you? Who programmed your silly ass? Like, girl. He's not saying, he's just saying he has a preference, girl. It's not a preference. It's not a preference. It's actually a prejudice, actually. It's a prejudice. It's not a preference. You can't sit here and say that it is. Like, if I don't like chocolate ice cream, I just don't like chocolate ice cream. I'm not going to be like, God damn, that fucking chocolate ice cream is so fucking disgusting. That's why I like vanilla ice cream. I don't fuck with chocolate ice cream. Fuck that chocolate ice cream. I love vanilla ice cream. Nobody's saying that's I prefer vanilla. I prefer vanilla ice cream because fuck that chocolate. It's like, girl, why are you so mad at the chocolate ice cream? It ain't doing nothing to you. It's literally not doing anything to you. You just fucking hate it so much. Girl, it's just sitting in the freezer box with the rest of the ice cream. And every time you get ready to go pick up the vanilla, you're like, oh, I just hate that chocolate ice cream so much. It's weird. It's weird. And I'm like, literally, when I don't understand how other men, that's why I'm like, when they say, oh, it's good men and this and that. But y'all, I don't hear y'all. Like, I don't hear it. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. When you got people speaking up, like people like Joe Budden speaking up, girl, whatever. It's weird. And then like y'all are literally running around trying to figure out like who can protect me Protect yourselves. Protect yourself. Part of self-love is understanding that you need to protect yourself, right? And stop looking to other groups of men to protect you. Protect yourself. Because ask the other groups of men, ask the women who look like them, what about the men in your group? And they will tell you. The numbers might not be as high because we're not trying to figure out who's struggling the most, but they will tell you, yes, because all of these groups of men, no matter culture or region, have all been socialized under the program of patriarchy. And so they are going to do whatever they need to do to uphold it. Like literally yesterday, I had a conversation where these two women were explaining to me that white men protect their women. White men protect their women. Black men don't protect their women. First of all, the possessiveness, okay, this idea, like that's when I be saying like it's time to just like that. The word divest is great, but I feel like untethering is just like a more of a deeper thing, because this idea that you still refer to as there are my or our men, they are not yours. They are not yours. They are not yours. But that's why I think it's weird for people to be like, it's okay to be like, oh, I find people who don't look like me attractive, because it's just the way that your face looks. You might, to your eyes, you might find that person attractive. But to actually look at yourself and to have such a hatred, something is deeper than that. And that has to, there's an untethering that needs to happen to where you don't even see them as yours, because they have such a disconnection that they don't even see themselves in you. Even though they look like you, they don't see themselves in you. So you have to kind of like completely remove yourself from this idea. But then there's also this idea that if I go over here, to me, I feel like that level of thinking is no different than saying, it's like I'm over here because I don't have the resources over here. So I'm going to come over here and use these resources, or take advantage of these resources, not in a negative sense, but I'm going to go to where there's more fish in the sea, I guess you can say, right? But to actually think that that's what you have to do, and that what needs to happen in order for you to be protected in society. White men are not protecting white women. They are protecting and upholding whiteness. They're protecting their women to protect whiteness. They're not protecting the women. Does that make sense? Because they're still, listen to the way that white women speak about white men. Just listen to them. Just listen. Listen to the way that Latin women speak about Latin men. Listen to the way that African women speak about African men. Listen to the way that Caribbean women speak about Caribbean men. Listen to the way that Asian women speak about Asian men. Listen to them. Don't assume just because this group of men that look like you are not available, are extremely violent, who are a threat to your safety and your health, and you go over here and you look to this because this is not available to you. But understand that it's not going to be that different, because these groups of men have all been socialized under the program of patriarchy, and they operate like that. And I always say, there are some men who reject their socialization and they speak out and against things like this, but you guys are not loud enough. That's why people are like all men, all men, all men, because the quote unquote good men are not loud enough. And then, like, literally you have someone like Joe Budden coming out saying, speaking up for Black women, when he's had a baby with a woman who said that men like him worship women like her. I don't know. It's just all crazy to me. I don't fucking know. White men don't kill Black men for sleeping with white women because they're women. They're protecting the womb that will produce more white men. So it has nothing to do with her. She's still a mule. She's still a mattress. You see white women being offered up all the time, especially in law enforcement. You see it all the time. And that to me, like, it's an organization that is strictly created to uphold this illusion as well. They are the enforcers of that. And it's like, ask them. Just ask other groups of women. Ask them. It pains me to hear Black women like literally praise other groups of men. I don't know if it's to make Black men jealous. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. But you, to me, are just a tool in upholding that shit. Because if you're saying to Black men, white men are better than you, and they're telling you white women are better than you, what are you both saying, actually? What are you both saying? What are you both saying? What are you both saying? You are upholding the first tenet in this shit, whiteness. There's no way. And then when you go and say another group is better because they build, yeah, they build because they want to live there too. They're building. Yeah, they're building. But ask their women how they're being treated in those buildings. Ask them. I think it's so weird to see other women like be like, yeah, white zaddy. What? Girl, are you kidding me? Like, there's nothing wrong with being like, oh my God, he is so attractive. That's what I'm saying. Is that there's nothing wrong with saying that. Like, oh my God, he's so attractive. Oh my God, he's really cute. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But then to look at something that looks like you and be completely disgusted to the point where you get on a platform and degrade it. And then there's other men that play into that. That's why I think it's so important to share. Like you say, don't give them any publicity, but no, share that so that you can see how other people think about this. What do they feel about what these men are saying? That way you can know who the fuck is who. Because there are men who really think like that. What did he say? Shaniquas and LaQuishas, they're aggressive and ratchet and all this other stuff. First of all, this idea that you're putting credence in anything that they have to say because you already know their purpose and their role in our society is to create chaos and confusion. And that's what they're doing. Because yesterday it was the weirdest thing. And I witnessed this man completely derail a conversation and say that we'll never get to resolution while at the same time creating confusion. And when I tell you they walk in contradiction, it is amazing to observe. Because you're watching this and you're watching people, men and women alike, uphold these things inadvertently. You're uplifting another group of men in a patriarchy. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, men are created to protect women. Where did you get that from? Because of their physical capacity? I can understand that. But those same men created weaponry because they understand that each other are violent to each other. So why would you depend on the men who know with each other we can be very violent? Why are you depending on this man, these groups of men, to offer you some protection when they are violent to each other? They're violent to each other. That's how this programming works. Domination, control. So when black men are emulating these ideas, how they want submission, and they don't want you to have an education. They want you to be in a position to where you are completely dependent on them and vulnerable to them, even though they can't even on the average support you without any of this stuff. You need to have an education. You need to have a job, literally. And they want you in these vulnerable positions because they are operating in a system that tells them this is how it should be. This is where women should be. This is how women what they need to do in order to serve me. Listen to the advice that they give. None of it serves women. None of it serves women. None of it. And yet you have women navigating through life, their early 20s, sitting amongst these men, listening, defending the things that they are saying, and really programmed like boop, 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 and like jumping up to protect the man and protect them in while they are spewing hatred towards women. You have to understand how deep you have to be embedded in the programming of this shit in order for you to actually out of your mouth speak in defense of a man spewing hatred against another woman. You have to be deeply programmed. You do. And then to look to other groups of men who also have been programmed under this system to protect you when they were the ones to create the guns to protect themselves from other men. You should take the resources that other men have created and utilize them to protect yourself, because they have told you that we are violent and we use our strength to dominate other groups of men and the women in our groups. Ask Arab women, ask Muslim women, ask them, the men in their community, how the men are gatekeeping their communities. Ask groups of women. One is not better than the other in this system. It's not. They're all operating the same way. That's how I feel about it. Anyways, y'all, I'm out of here. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments.